So you may have gotten one of these notices. It's a notice for a magistrate's hearing on an application for a criminal complaint. It may seem scary. It's got a piece of paper, looks official from a court, will tell you about where the court hearing is. It's talking about different criminal charges. It has different languages. So what that is a magistrate's hearing, or sometimes known as a clerk's hearing. So first off, what is a magistrate's hearing? A magistrate's hearing is basically your first chance to avoid criminal prosecution whatsoever. It's a chance to preserve your record and make sure that these charges don't appear in your record at all. And sometimes it's the best chance to do that. Even if we get involved later on after the charges have issued, the clerk's hearing is the best chance for you to keep your record clear. Now, what happens at the hearing itself is that you have a magistrate, a clerk, not necessarily a lawyer, certainly not a judge, who will decide whether there's probable cause for the case to go forward. Probable cause is a very low burden. It means basically any evidence whatsoever that would allow the case to move forward. Now, at the hearing itself, there will also be a police officer there. Sometimes it's the officer who wrote the report. Other times it's what they call a police prosecutor, somebody whose job it is to interact with the court. And they'll basically read the police report and you'll get a chance to respond to that. Now, if you win this hearing, it's like the case never happened. You have no record of it whatsoever. It doesn't appear on your criminal history. It doesn't appear on your record, state, federal, whatever. If you lose, then it goes through the normal process of going to an arraignment. You'll go in front of the judge, a DA, and then if you're arraigned, it'll actually show up on your record. There's also kind of in between where it's continued, where the clerk will say, let's put it off for 6 months. At the end of that 6 months, assuming you don't get in trouble, assuming you don't hear anything from you again, then the case will be dismissed. So do you need a lawyer for a magistrate's hearing? Well, a lot of people do it without a lawyer. And if you call the clerk's office, a lot of times they'll say, yeah, people handle them without lawyers all the time, which is true. But there are a few risks that you ought to think about. First off is that anything you say in this hearing can be used against you. It's all recorded and on the record. So if the charges issue, any admissions you make, so let's say you say, yeah, I was there, but I didn't do anything wrong. The fact that you were there can be used against you later on if the prosecution wants to prove their case. Whereas if you have a lawyer who can speak on your behalf, that oftentimes cannot be used against you. Second thing you want to think about is that a lawyer knows how to communicate with clerks and they know the law. Technically, the proof here is probable cause of the elements of the offense. So a lawyer will know the elements, they'll know how to attack the elements. They'll know to say, well, this element is weak, this element hasn't been proven, things like that, to be able to communicate with the clerk. And they'll also know the clerk themselves. I've done dozens of these around the state. And there's some clerks that don't want to hear anything about the facts. They just want to hear about your background. There are other ones that want to go do a deep dive into the facts, examine everything themselves. And there are other ones that are somewhere in between. The benefit of having a lawyer is that a lawyer can actually look at the case, look at the magistrate and know what argument should I make here and be able to adapt in the hearing to be able to know what argument might be the most persuasive to the magistrate themselves. And third, just having a lawyer there, somebody who's present with you, a lot of times will convince the magistrate that you're taking it seriously. Convince the magistrate that, hey, he's not blowing this off. He hired a lawyer. He wants to do the right thing. I've had magistrates tell me, your client took this seriously. Your client hired you, so I'm going to dismiss the case. So just having a lawyer that can also make a huge difference. Now, the magistrate's process is unique in Massachusetts. I'm not sure any state does anything similar to it. And it's your chance to prevent a complaint from issuing at all. It's your chance to protect your record and prevent these charges from even coming up on any sort of background check. It's crucial that you leave nothing to chance if you get one of these notices. Now, I've done dozens of these all around the state. You can take a look at my website. I have my results on there. You can take a look at my reviews. I've done dozens of these. If you have any questions about a magistrate's hearing, if you have any questions about how it works, feel free to call me, text me, or you can comment on here, however you want to get in touch.